is this notion of business strategy. So maybe back then we didn't pay a lot of attention to business strategy as far as our clients are concerned. I mean, maybe we were thinking about it more in terms of how SSG was operating in terms of strategy, how things evolved over time. So would you, I guess my observation is that back then, maybe business strategy wasn't as important to many organizations. So some of the companies that we had worked with as employees and maybe in our early consulting days, they weren't that focused on business strategy. And maybe technology wasn't a key component of that business strategy. It was more about production and sales and marketing, at least from my observation. Today, however, is different. So some companies have very key requirements that are satisfied by technology that give them that advantage that they wouldn't otherwise have had. Do you recall seeing that shift as well?
Well, if you think about it, years ago, very few companies had a CIO. CIO is only for, the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 maybe. Mm-hmm. That role of somebody looking at a vision of how technology can be used throughout the organization and maximize the organization didn't exist. IT they kept the printers going and the application running, and then desktops came around and we had to keep the desktops running, and they were backed up. There was no real vision. I remember we were at one company where we rolled out the design department wanted to do CAD work, and they spent a fortune on those systems. This was 91, 92, maybe 90, maybe. But they spent thousands of dollars on this equipment, and it never quite worked right. Mm. They knew they needed something. They didn't understand it. We didn't understand it. There was no vision. There was no plan. There was no idea of what we're doing. Just that, we need this. It was that was very common back then. Look, there's a new shiny new piece of software. I read it's pretty good. I played golf with somebody, and the CIO played golf with somebody. The CEO and he heard about it, the tennis club, and now we're going to try this. There was nobody really looking at, will this work and how do we use it? Now it's very common. Now, when you discuss a new ERP application or even enhancing something, you're thinking about what that vision is for them going in the future and how this is going to support it. So 5-year plan, we're going to have, we're going to have these pieces that we want to go after this business or this technology or into this area. So everything that you're putting in place you're thinking about how you're going to support that. Even the day-to-day stuff. So today I was talking to somebody about that they want to, currently they have orders on the web, they have orders coming via EDI, they've got orders still coming in on fax, they have all these orders coming from all these directions. They want to go out to Amazon. So you start looking at how do we support all of this, because none of it's going away forward. This is where we're going, and this is where they need to go. And yet they still have to key an order in. Somebody still has to go manually key an order in because somebody's going to mail an order in or drop it off at the office. So it's just getting a lot more complex.